to have like an overall overview of what's happening. For business, because that it will affect what kind of decisions we're going to take, where are we going next, where opportunity lies, where the clients need to come from. So it's a little bit of, the kind of like a research that is, I would say, like the intelligent research as well, that will give you the economic return eventually.
Okay. So we've done this sort of global scale. I want to narrow it down a bit to the Middle East now. Are there any particular sources you would go to for news around the Middle East in particular?
Definitely Al Jazeera. Definitely Al Jazeera is the best. And I know that sometimes people might say it's not really independent or partial, which is probably might be even the case, but definitely is one that I definitely go regularly. I would say almost every day. I'm definitely browsing. Or looking at their documentaries or following their news and so on. Definitely is the first one. Then really depends. Sometimes Google, sometimes is, definitely there are obviously articles in the Economist, on the newspaper. Then if there is a fact that is actually happening, like for example the case in Yemen and so on, then maybe I dig a little bit more and see if there is anything else that I need to be aware of.
You haven't mentioned social media at all. How
because I feel a little bit, okay, I don't know if I can go down the strange route. No, I would definitely not mention. Sometimes Twitter, Twitter, I can pick it up, maybe some tweets and things like that. But I wouldn't say that is really my source of information. Just because on the social media, everybody puts whatever. So not necessarily, it's always good to see also, to try to see impartiality of information. And then again, depends what kind of news. There are economic news, there are social news, political news, and so on. So it's not really my go-to place.
Okay.
Although I must say that on LinkedIn, sometimes I pick it up because I'm part of also some groups. I might pick it up as some news. And then if it's something that is really catching my attention, then I will go and explore even more. Probably among the mediums, I must say I also receive quite a lot of newsletters from quite a number of sources, whether even from blogs like independent blogs or for example the World Bank blogs and things like that. So obviously I pick it up certain information also from there. I wouldn't say that I read them every day or continuously, but usually the title if the title catches my attention, then
it sounds like that might be more to make you trigger your awareness of something that you then go and research somewhere else.
Exactly.
You use it as a source. Okay, that's great. So I now want to focus down on the Arab countries of the Persian Gulf or the Arabian Gulf, depending on which way you prefer to describe it. Can you name the countries in the GCC for me?
The countries in the GCC. Okay, yeah, sure. So the Emirates, the Qatar, the Bahrain, the Kuwait, the Saudi Arabia, I would say, on this side. I would say also Oman, in a way, probably even Yemen. And then on the other side, what do we have? Iran. Iran. If we can, but it's not really considered GCC as such, so it's already like Southern Asia. So I can think of these ones.
You've got them all. So UAE, Saudi, Qatar, Kuwait, Oman, Bahrain.
Okay, there you go.
Okay, thank you very much. So how would you describe the development of the Arab Gulf region generally across all business sectors, and then specifically in the area in which you work?
Very well developed, very well advanced, very aware as well of limitation of their resources that eventually can end up, so they can try to diversify. Then some more than others, perhaps more developed than others. Maybe I can say also not exactly very free, or very democratic rather. Very well, obviously, very well structured as well, very upcoming.
And in the area in which you work?
Definitely very important to us, very important, because like I said, we also work in specific sectors. So some of our clients are actually from there. Give you an example. We're working on a project in Mozambique, which is obviously is a new upcoming market for LNG. Naturally, the first country that we look at is, we look obviously Algeria, which is obviously not GCC, but we also look at Qatar. So clearly it has a very big impact. And a lot of clients of us, that they are service providers, for instance, they're actually based in there. But at the same time, there's also something related to investment. They're also looking at opportunities for them to invest in certain countries, or a level of infrastructure development. So for us, it's a big market, I would say. It's definitely a big market. Probably in a way, even more than Europe, in a way.
Okay. What are the main changes over the last 5 to 10 years? What are the big things that have happened, things that are different now, positive or negative?
In terms of
development in the region?
Well, definitely the first things I can think of is the Saudi Arabia is the first things I can think of in terms of having like a leader that is a little bit more, first of all, educated in the US. So someone that is very well open, very, although there's been obviously the change, this one I can go maybe like in a different territory, because obviously there are cases as well of, again, like things going against the democracy, but generally like there's been a little bit more open, I think. A little bit also diplomatic issues as well between themselves, that they don't affect us directly, but at the same time can create a potential conflict, like Qatar and Saudi as well as Emirates and so on. So yeah, these are that I can think that the major issues really, besides obviously the war in the challenges in around the region of Yemen. So
where would you see things going over the next 5 years or so, in general and in your sector? Is it a positive or negative outlook, do you think?
I want to see positive outlook. I would love to see positive outlook, yes. Because certain things are just phases, and historically as well, go through phases. So I definitely can see positive.
Okay.
Yeah.
For your business as well.
For that business, yes. Because sometimes it happens that depends about, and I want to think about obviously in a context that is not pandemic, okay?
Yeah.
So taking that into consideration, obviously, what we see that it goes very much in phases. There's been periods where they were particularly present and very, very, very forceful, because obviously their strategy also depends about not only that, but obviously some of probably the projects are also in line with the prices of the oil. Last year it's not been very positive, let's say. But there's been obviously a pickup of the cost and the price. So obviously we hope that we're going to see them a little bit more active. So sometimes they have, like now, I feel like they have this sort of level of cautiousness that perhaps maybe in some other time they didn't have. So obviously when you slow down whatever activity you do, then eventually you're just going to come back stronger. So that's why I think that's what we're going to be seeing as a business.
Okay. Great. So your organisation then, do you have particular interest in any of those countries we talked about? UAE, Saudi, Qatar, Kuwait, Oman,
very
Bahrain?
Much. Very, very much. Yes.
In all of them?
Some more than others.
Okay.
Certain countries, for example, Oman, we did try to do some business there in the past, but it didn't really work out. It just wasn't, it didn't work out. So obviously that definitely is not really like our top priority. We do have clients from there, but it's not a priority. Emirates, Qatar, I would say these one definitely top priority. As well, probably Bahrain, a little bit more Bahrain, and also the small ones, I would say. Okay. Saudi, I would say yes, but less, to some extent less for us. But which is a shame, but at the same time, many things may change. It just we saw more interest from the one that I mentioned.
So why Emirates and Qatar? What's different about them that would make
I think their economics and their interest is a little bit more dynamic. And they're also like on all fronts. I can really see them in different places, very, very active.